How's it going, everyone? Welcome to my channel. My name is Swanee, and I'm joined by my friend Cookie. And for today's Helldivers 2 video, we finally got a release date and some new info about the next major patch for Helldivers 2. So we're going to go over that and give you our thoughts on everything. But first, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Outplayed. Outplayed is the ultimate video capturing app that automatically captures your highlights and biggest moments while gaming. You can set it up to record specific in-game moments or even record entire matches. And one of my favorite features about Outplayed is that I can capture replays of epic moments with just the push of a button, which has been a huge help when it comes to gathering specific clips for my videos. So what are you waiting for? Outplayed is completely free, and you can check it out by clicking the link in the description down below. And thank you to Outplayed for sponsoring today's video. Alright, so Helldivers 2 finally gave us some new information today regarding the new patch. So Cookie, why don't you go over all that for us?
On Helldivers 2 official Twitter, they posted that the next patch will deploy on Thursday. This tweet is in 4 different parts. The first part shows a meme that says, "I bet he's thinking about other Helldivers," and then says visible supply lines and attack origins, patrols and spawn rate reverted, invite-only lobbies, super samples at level 6, unlimited grenade fix, and 100 changes and fixes. The part 2 of this says, "You've probably noticed we've slowed our cadence of patches. Similar to our future approach to Warbonds, this is so we can dedicate more time to each patch to reduce the pressure on our teams, dig into your feedback more, and deliver higher quality patches. We're very aware that going from quick small patches to slower bigger patches means your expectations are higher. While we think the next patch is strong with lots of bug fixes and requested features, we're definitely not resting on our laurels or being complacent." And the last part of this says, "We'll continue delivering patches and content that squash bugs and evolve the game. And most importantly, evolve the game with our players and community. We sincerely thank you for your patience and support as we've made this adjustment."
Alright, so that's a lot to unpack, but before we unpack that, I also want to point out that Baskinator over on Discord had this to say. She said that there's a lot of really cool things that are coming. I'm actually dreading doing it in the Discord patch notes because it's going to be a lot of different messages I have to format to get it all in there. So apparently this patch is going to be bigger than we thought. It started off them just trying to downplay it, and they're like, hey, don't get your hopes up, it's just going to be a regular patch. And now it's turned into something gigantic, and it's going to have over 100 plus changes.
I'm so confused at their marketing for this patch. I mean, it's a weird thing to market because it's just a patch, but yeah, I mean, Twinbeard was trying to temper our expectations for weeks, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, actually, it's just as big as everybody thought it would be. I mean, I guess I'm happy that it is big, because if it takes this long, it should be really big. I'd have been pretty disappointed if it was a relatively small, minor patch, and it took them over a month to do it. So it's a good thing that it's big. It's just weird that they tried to downplay it, because this is what people, I think, were expecting. This is what I was expecting, something that has a ton of fixes. And I don't know if I'd say the game is totally different now. It might be, but like based on the stuff that they're going to add, it's going to make a gigantic difference for this game. It will be a very, very important patch. And there's a possibility it changes the game completely. We don't know all of what's in it, but just based on what we do know is in it, it's gonna be extremely significant.
Yeah, Thursday is going to be a huge day. We're getting the Warbond and this patch on the same day, so there's going to be whatever balancing changes they make. All those weapons and stuff are going to play differently. Plus, we're getting the new weapons and the throwing knife and the new booster. It's going to be a lot to go over on Thursday, so I'm going to have to probably break that up into like 2 videos, because I normally, like, anytime a Warbond comes out, I test everything in the Warbond. Same thing kind of goes for these big patches. I normally test everything in the big patch, and there's no way I can fit all that into one video, so I'm probably going to have to break that into 2 videos later this week. So yeah, there's a lot going on Thursday.
That's not the best news from a content creator point of view, but it does kind of make sense on their part to just release it all at once, just kind of get everything out there at the same time. It's kind of like information overload, though, even for Helldiver fans that are just going to go from nothing to everything in one day. So that'll be an interesting to see how that's taken. There's just going to be so much to analyze. Like, you know, what stuff in the patch is messed up or really, really good, and how does the new stuff work with it. This definitely shows that this is the big moment. You know, with Helldivers numbers going down, this is I mean, it's weird because Twinbeard said to not think of this as the be-all end-all. This really feels like the be-all end-all. Like, where is this game going to go? It's going to be determined on Thursday.
And not to mention, like, there's a lot of stuff going on right now outside of Helldivers. Like, the player numbers are low. There hasn't been anything related to Helldivers for the past month. Destiny just got a DLC. Elden Ring has a DLC coming out in just, like, over a week and a half. There's going to be a lot of people playing other things. So it's going to be very interesting to see if some of the player base starts to come back after this big update. Because, you know, taking an entire month off like this definitely hurt the game. And there's not as many content creators. Like, nobody's making videos about it. Nobody's watching videos about it. Like, I've been wanting to make videos about Helldivers for like weeks, but since we never had a release date, I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting because I wanted to make loadout videos and weapon testing videos, but I didn't want to make a weapon testing video and then them release a patch like 3 or 4 days later and just completely nullify everything in that video. So, you know, it kind of put us in a rough spot for like 2 or 3 weeks.
And I think that this will be interesting to see, like, how much pool does this game still have? Does it have enough pool to take people that were, like, kind of tired of the game, sick of crashing, or sick of just nothing really being developed in the game? Are they going to be like, all right, back to it? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to get players back to games a lot of times. So we'll see how loyal, I guess, the Helldivers community is here. Have they all just been waiting for this patch, or have they moved on? We're going to find that out pretty soon.
Yeah, I just hope that with them taking this long, that there's not that many bugs and glitches, because that's one of the things that can kill this off so fast. Because I brought this up in previous videos of like the Battlefront 2 situation, where they would take so long to have updates, and then they would release it, and then it would be full of bugs and glitches. So I just hope that this is a well-balanced patch. I mean, we gave them the time to do it, so we're expecting it to run pretty smoothly.
Yeah, basically perfect. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a bug here and there, but like there better not be anything game breaking. It's just if they make that kind of mistake and they release it with awful bugs and stuff, this game's in a lot of trouble. I mean, a lot of trouble. That's the whole reason the patch took this long to come out. It should be a well-balanced, non-buggy patch. It should be really, really clean. That's why they took so long. So yeah, that would not go over well.
People don't like us when we bring that stuff up, but hey, I like to play both sides. I don't like to just completely suck up to a game. I get called a shill or a kiss ass like every time, no matter what I say, or I get called negative. But yeah, I like to play it both sides. Like right now, I'm still on Team Arrowhead. I'm still rooting for them. They've not given me a reason to doubt them, but you know, I'm going in with kind of lowered expectations. I just don't want to get my hopes up, and then the patch isn't as big and as good as what I, anticipate.
Yeah, and like I said, they've given a lot of mixed messages on how big this patch even is anyway, so it's very hard to jump in on a whole lot, but 100 changes and fixes, that's a lot. I know some of that stuff is going to be really minor, but that's still a ton of stuff happening. I think this is going to be probably the biggest patch we've ever had.
I'm excited for the visible supply lines and attack origins, because that's actually going to show us on the war map what planets to attack. That's one of the main reasons that we fail so many major orders, is that they don't explain to you that we have to take a certain planet first before we can get to the planet that's in the major order. So there's been so many players that are just completely confused and they just don't know what to do. And then, we have half the player base facing the bugs and half facing the robots, and it's just, yeah, so hopefully the supply lines fixes that. And then the super samples going down to level 6 is a big deal too, because a lot of people don't like playing on the harder difficulties. They just want to play and relax and chill, and being able to get super samples at level 6 is a game changer for a lot of people.
Yeah, but the other part to keep in mind about level 6 is, as we know, there seems to be some crazy jump between level 5 and level 6 in this game, which I think is partially because of the patrol and spawn rates that are kind of screwed up right now, which has been the main selling point of this patch for like a month, is that they are going to fix that. So that'll be interesting to see if that is still a problem or not, because frankly, level 6 doesn't feel like that much of a drop in challenge.
Level 6 was sometimes as hard as level 9 for us sometimes.
I know, it was crazy, and that's because the patrol and spawn rates are weird, and sometimes they just spawn endlessly like crazy on lower difficulties, which is not the way it's supposed to go. So that'll be a hard thing to test and to tell if it got fixed or not, at least immediately, but that's a very, very big deal to see how they how they revert that patrol and spawn rate.
Yeah, I think even in the gameplay that you're showing in the background of today's video, we ended up losing that match, and we were only playing on level 7, but they just endlessly were spawning enemies, and we couldn't get to the objective because there was a gunship outpost right protecting the objective, and we could not get our footing because there was just so many enemies. So
yeah, we got pooped on.
Yeah, hopefully they that's a good fix, because yeah, endlessly facing enemies, that would be fine if there was like a horde mode or something, but yeah, it's not fun when you're just playing a regular mission. Looks like this update's going to be pretty big. I'm excited for it. As I said earlier, I will be making multiple videos breaking down every single change that's going to be made, so stay tuned for that. And if you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. That way you don't miss out on any future Helldivers 2 videos. And here within the next couple weeks, I am going to be mixing it up. I am going to be covering the Elden Ring DLC because, you know, on this channel, I'm not just a Helldivers channel. I do cover other video games. I basically cover whatever games I'm currently playing, so yeah, expect some Elden Ring content here in the next couple days, but I am still going to cover Helldivers, so just going to see both games on the channel. But yeah, if you made it this far, consider hitting the thumbs up button because it helps us out in the algorithm. And that is going to do it for us, and we will talk to you guys next time. So, bye-bye.
Bye.